Hey family, it's your girl Vilo. Let's go ahead and make this dirty spaghetti. I posted a photo a little bit earlier asking y'all what do you think I'm going to make. And several of you was very close when you said spaghetti. But my bonus daughter, she actually guessed it. So let's start with some little bit of olive oil. That's about a tablespoon or so. And I'm going in with my ground turkey. And so we're gonna brown this up really well before we go in with our bell peppers and onions and garlic. All right, this is our ground turkey with a little bit of oil. As you can see, it has quite a bit of water in here. We're not going to get rid of any of that because when we put the flour in a little bit later, we're going to need all of that. So we're going to add our bell peppers and onions, and we're going to add some garlic because I do not have any fresh garlic. Okay, now that we got our bell peppers and onions in here, and I went on ahead and put a heaping tablespoon of garlic. And so we're going to fortify a little bit more of that garlic flavor a little bit later by adding some granulated garlic and granulated onion. And of course, seasonings of your choice. But this is dirty spaghetti, a play on dirty rice. So we're going to add Cajun. And in my pot over there, I got my hot water going. Not quite yet. Oh yeah, it's at a boil now. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna salt it like the sea. And then we're gonna add in our spaghetti. Okay, we got our spaghetti in here, so this has to come back up to a boil. And we're gonna let this boil according to the manufacturer's instructions. So about between 9 to 12 minutes. Give this a zhuzh, and we're gonna let that go and come back up to a boil. Okay, now that this has cooked for about a couple of minutes and the vegetables are a little bit lucent. Ooh, can't talk today. We're gonna go ahead and add a couple of tablespoons of flour, and we're gonna give this a mix. I'm gonna let this cook down for like a minute or two to get that raw flour taste out of there. Ooh, smoky. All right, we're gonna go in with a couple of cups of chicken broth. So this is half of a quart container of chicken broth. I'm gonna do that. And this is gonna thicken slightly like a gravy. And from here, let's start to build some flavor. Okay, as you can see, I have this on a low simmer, and we're gonna start building flavor. So we're gonna do a couple of teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. That's gonna give it a really nice earthy taste. And then let's start adding some flavor. And if you know, you know, from my OG spice rub line, these spice rubs, Rub and Love Cajun. Y'all, this has a kick to it. But it's going to be so good. And this is low sodium, of course. So we're going to add a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. The tiniest bit, because this does have salt in it. We're going to add some granulated garlic, fortify it with a little bit more of that garlic flavor, as I mentioned earlier. And that's about a teaspoon. And then we're going to add about a teaspoon of onion powder. And as you can imagine, we're going to give it a taste. And black pepper. And from my OG line as well, my herb blend is a mixture of all of your Italian favorite herbs, including a bit of rosemary, dry rosemary. And this is salt free. Look at that. Okay, we're gonna let this simmer for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, our pasta is ready. I'm gonna drain it, and we're gonna pull this dish all the way together. Now look at this, y'all. This, oh my gosh, this tastes absolutely delicious. I did end up adding a little bit more of my Cajun blend, and I added a little bit of all-purpose seasoning, which is adobo that has that salt in it. And y'all, this is absolutely delicious. And so if it gets a little bit too thick, you can add a little bit of more of chicken stock, or you can reserve some of your pasta water from the spaghetti that's being cooked. All right, family, I got the spaghetti in, and we are gonna mix this in very well. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. And we're gonna let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, and we will be ready.